Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the OM Show for a video game community for grown-ups in Southeast Asia. This is your host James, and with me are my fellow OM Geeks, Joel, Steve, Mike, Mitch, Jim.
Yo! What up?
Hello.
That's a handful.
Hello.
So today,
Hey, we got a full
episode
crew
is
today.
Yeah, it's a full crew.
Yep.
Our episode today is about the gaming mouse reviews that we've done on the site.
So far,
Yeah, we've done about 3 for Logitech and Razer. So we're gonna decide now on who's the best. Maybe
Oh,
Who wants to go
Maybe-
first? We've got
wow.
so many.
Open warfare.
maybe Mike should go first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I've
Start from the bottom.
Oh,
barrel.
none of
wow. Start from the
So,
bottom,
Mike, tell
now
us what
here.
did you review?
That's how the song goes. So I love hip hop. Logitech G402 Hyperion Fury. Talk about a mouthful.
Sounds cheesy right off the bat.
Sounds cheesy, but it's awesome. So some of you guys, if you're familiar with how Logitech works and some of the old mice that Logitech has
Got
created,
one right
over
here.
time, that's it. I think that's a 402, Joel.
That's a 402, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the mouse that I still use. I've had it since September, and I wrote a review on it. And basically, it's a mouse that if you're into gaming, FPS gaming, or if you're a palm gripper, it's perfect. A palm grip, so that means you hold your mouse. So this is Mitch's, by the way. I'll just hold it like this, and if you just kind of hold onto it and just cover it completely with your palm, and that's the most comfortable, most basic way of holding a mouse. So that
It's
actually
groping.
goes really well.
Kind of. Well,
So
depends.
yeah.
So,
So
like,
it's
for
great.
people with big hands, palm grip is what you want. So,
Exactly.
for viewers who are not sure what we're talking about, so this is your mouse. A palm grip would be like that. Like
Yeah.
you're holding, see, the back of your hand is resting on the back of the mouse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
This is a
that's
palm grip. This is a claw grip, if I'm not wrong. Claw grip.
Definitely not wrong.
Wait,
So,
you're
Sounds-
like a
Sounds
bird.
like a martial art move.
Yeah, kind of like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's the third one? There's
Uh,
the palm grip and
the finger grip, isn't it? No.
It's a finger grip. Really.
Finger grip is like that. It's the weird one.
yeah.
It's
not
like
really.
it's typically for small mice. Like
How about the shocker?
Oh,
Wow.
so
Yeah,
for
I
example, like if you have a tiny mouse like this
Yeah.
one, like
Okay.
Oh,
then you'd
yeah.
be using a finger grip like that because
okay.
you wouldn't have anything to rest on at the back.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
My issue with those kind of
technically.
grips is my hand likes to cramp in those positions.
Yeah,
so I
it's
like
true.
use it for like maybe 10 seconds.
We're still talking about mice
yeah,
here, right?
and then I have to stick my finger.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's
But
coming.
I go through my explanation of what needs to happen when you do get a cramp. You've got to stick your fingers out really like firm, and it
Right.
fixes everything. So that's what I do.
All right, kids, you heard it from Uncle
Uncle Mitchie, Uncle Mitchie, right there.
So back to the 402,
Yes,
which is a great mouse. So
Sure.
it's actually based on an old classic of Logitech's called the MX518, and I picked that up exactly 10 years ago now when I first started playing Battlefield 2, and that was like a classic mouse. A lot of people have been using it for a long time, and I know a few people who still have it. I think, James, you still have one that's working somewhere.
I just conked out recently. Actually.
Just conked out. So after 10 years, I mean, that's good
Right.
quality.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
good.
So the 402 borrows pretty much the exact design specifications of that mouse, and it just basically adds a sniper button just below the thumb, or just where the thumb area is. I was skeptical at first. I was like, why the hell do you have this interfering with my normal mouse usage? Like, I don't really want an extra button, but it actually isn't interfering. So it turned out well. Having used an MX518,
This is the button.
MX518. It was a kind of a natural transition for me, and no, it's a really good mouse. Like I'm an FPS gripper, palm gripper, FPS gamer who is a palm gripper. Sorry, I mean that Hello Kitty.
Yeah,
thing
sorry,
is completely thrown me off. I love it.
Yeah,
Suits
I know.
you, Dave.
I gotta guess.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Hi, Bernice. Please put
Bernice.
it in his shoulder. So it's a great mouse. If you're an FPS gamer, don't worry about the sniper button. It doesn't really interfere much. I think Joel, you've been using the mouse as well. I mean, has it been interfering?
Can you explain what the sniper button is?
Sniper button is an extra button that's not is not a standard input. You got to configure it with Logitech's gaming software.
Okay.
And what it does is essentially, and a few like manufacturers nowadays, they all do this. When you press it, theoretically, what it's supposed to do is you set this so that the DPI of the mouse drops drastically. So from being very responsive, it becomes hypersensitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you move in a large direction, but actually the movement on screen is quite little.
correct. So that's why they call it the sniper buttons, right?
So
The sniper
fine
buttons.
tuning.
Yeah, fine tuning essentially. So
Okay.
unless you're an FPS, like an avid FPSer, you're not gonna really want this function. I think a cool thing about the G402 that Mike didn't mention, but he mentions in his review, which you should go read, is the fact that the G402 has a really, really fast sensor. It's
It's insanely fast. It's like 12,000 DPI.
inhumanly fast, yeah.
Reach, like it's impossible to, but it's just there. It's like it's a feature if you want to throw your mouse across the room in a violent
If you have a
manner.
mouse pad the size of your entire table.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it's cool. I mean, it's useful in that sense. So it's a great mouse. Like if you have been using the MX 518, it's it's a natural transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So
Oh, sorry. I should say that it's about 60 Singapore dollars or 65, depending on where you go. I think Joel, right?
maybe they can check the review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exact.
Price, yeah,
Yeah,
on the
I
site.
think that's 60.
We'll
yeah.
link to it in the video and the comments below.
Somewhere
Comments
below.
Somewhere.
So how do we do this? Like,
Well, we'll
click
put it in the
here
comments. It'll
for
be
the
in
first-
text. It
We
won't
can
be
annotate
There.
It
Yeah,
won't be on the
annotate,
feed.
right?
Yeah.
or somewhere here.
So
Yeah,
click
there.
on the G402 to go to the G402
There we
review.
go.
Okay.
Hey,
Well
All
done.
right.
this is
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
alright.
Now,
Next mouse.
now for the
Who's
better
next?
mouse, the better mouse or the best mouse, I would say, the Chroma Naga or the Naga Chroma, whatever Razer.
Which
Okay.
happens
Naga-
to be,
Sorry,
yeah.
Naga
it's the
Chroma.
it's the
It's,
Razer Naga Epic Chroma.
So you'd
There.
say this is okay. Yeah.
It's epic.
It's epic.
It's
It's
epic.
quite
What's so epic about it?
epic.
The buttons,
Yeah.
can't you see the pictures on the review? There's like 12 buttons on the side. Well, it's really meant for MMOs, in general, but you can use it for any genre. Yeah, I think you just have to modify your grip, whatever claw
Yeah,
or
what, I don't know what
finger.
I don't-
How do you
yeah,
usually hold it?
Yeah, I hold it like
Oh.
that.
There.
Yeah.
It's like a hybrid claw grip.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of high because the Naga is quite small. It's got a smaller profile than the G402. G402 is fairly long, if you can see. It's fairly long.
Yeah.
Having all those buttons in one place like that, how do you actually define which button you're pressing?
Yeah, that takes getting used to.
Yeah, I
at
still
first,
haven't gotten used to it actually. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah.
At first, it would hamper a bit. I mean, you'd like guess on where it is, but I guess give it like a week or so.
Yeah.
Muscle memory, and
So 12 buttons. I believe Razer as well also has a toned down version of the Naga, which is called the Naga Hex.
I think that's for MOBAs.
Yeah,
It's
that's
for
the
MOBAs,
mobile
yeah.
one.
MOBA
Yeah,
version.
it's instead of 12 customizable side buttons, it's got 6 buttons.
6.
Hex, hence
In
in
a
hexagonal
yeah,
formation.
pattern.
So that makes it less crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been using this. Oh, we define whether we should be saying mice or mouse? For
Mice
one.
is plural.
Mice is plural, right? Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
You heard that? You heard that here
I've been-
first, guys.
Mice is plural.
Mices.
Moose is
Mices.
Moses.
Mouses?
Plural.
Mouses.
So anyway, I've been using this mouse for quite a long time now, and I just want to tell you my experience because I'm not an avid RPGer. So I think this is what this is really used for. Basically chucking out spells. If you look at the number pad, it's just kind of tied to your numpad on your keyboard anyway, and basically that's what it does. One thing I found a problem with is that because it's like that, you really have to take a lot of the game elements already have this inside it, so you're kind of having to, when you're changing the keyboard elements on any game that you're playing, you're kind of having to change around a lot of the default values for the numpad anyway. Still, on Euro Truck Simulator and Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is how I defined using this mouse, and I dare you to get more creative, viewers, because I was
Okay.
able to get Euro Truck Simulator on this with my indicators, my headlights, my
Wow.
No, seriously, no joke. My horn,
Okay, that's
my
amazing.
reverse stance, and then my 10, 11, 12, which is my bottom numbers. They were
Okay.
different view modes for when I was parking. And so, yeah, basically this mouse has been it's actually been really cool. And for games that it's not necessarily designed for, I found kind of unique uses for it. The other thing I found out about it that only I found out yesterday was that the wireless bridge here that lets you wirelessly charge the mouse. Actually, you can take the USB cable out and you can plug it directly into the
Directly.
mouse, and you have a wired mouse, which was so cool because I was like, "Fuck my mouse! It's out of battery. What do I do?" And then I figured
That happens a lot.
Yeah, I figured that you could just pull it out and it becomes a wired mouse, which was super super awesome. And I didn't read about that, so I was very very happy.
Is this a generic connector for the
It's a micro
charging dock?
USB. It's a micro USB, but
Right.
you won't be able to use standard USB cables because I tried. Because
yeah.
the first thing I did was, oh look, I found a mini USB there, and I tried to plug in a normal
Micro USB.
Yeah, micro USB. Sorry, tried to plug in a normal micro USB cable, and it didn't fit, and I was like, shit. And then I was like,
So
actually,
it's not a
looks
micro
like-
USB. Is it a proprietary Razer?
No,
connector?
it is a micro USB, but there's a big solid bit of
Yeah.
plastic. You notice here, right?
In a way, yeah.
There's a weird bit of plastic, which actually means that when you plug it into the mouse, it fits perfectly. So it looks like a cabled mouse, basically.
It kind of is proprietary in that way,
Right.
in that sense.
Because of that
But,
housing around it.
Yeah.
And it's
That-
changed color as we speak. Look at that. It's,
Yeah.
it's got the chroma.
and if you're into that color changing thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, it's very cool. Razer's just released an SDK for their keyboard and mouse for developers, which basically means you can do things like, for example, if you're playing Heavy Rain or one of those games where sudden keystrokes flash up and stuff, you could potentially make your
Sean!
keyboard like Sean, yeah, and like you can
Press
change your
X to
keyboard
Sean.
stance.
Press
you
X,
can-
Sean.
Yeah, it's so cool. And actually, what's really cool about it is that the game developers can create the templates, not necessarily the users, which I think is a really really cool thing.
So, does that SDK apply to the mouse as well?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, any Razer product basically. So you
Oh,
can do things
okay.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds
It's
okay.
called
Okay.
Razer Synapse.
I think
yeah.
it actually it's only just been released, and so I'm having a look at. I'm planning on kind of playing around with Unity and seeing if I can do some things. So, yeah,
Cool.
in the future, my friends.
All
That'd
right.
be a cool video.
Yeah,
Show people how that's done.
definitely.
Okay, let's move to the final mouse. Joel,
So
what
the
did
most
you
recent mouse review we did, I think, was the G502, which unfortunately we have returned our demo unit to Logitech, so we don't have one to show you. But I took some
Let's check
very
the
nice pictures, and you can
You
look
did?
at them
Beautiful pictures.
on
Very
my
nice pictures.
on my
You
review.
have a blog post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
That's
the
right.
nice photos. Check it out.
Check it out in the comments below.
Yeah. Even my Razer
Click-
Naga Epic
Click
Pro-
on my face to go to the mouse
I'll just
review.
click on that. That's
Honestly, guys, we've got very good writers in this community, so go read the reviews. They're really cool.
Yeah, so the G502 is essentially is the premium version, the hero offer that that Logitech has for its current generation of G mice. It's called the G502 Proteus Core.
love that name.
It's a-
Hyperion Fury, Proteus Core.
Proteus
Like who comes up with
These
this
guys are very,
great
very.
marketing department?
The
Not
marketing
even
department's very
Proteus,
epic,
sarcastic,
I must
because
say.
I'm in marketing.
Very epic. Yeah, epic
Random
story.
word generator.
Yeah,
Yes, Proteus.
literally.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like it's basically the same shape as the 402, but slightly more premium. Like everything is slightly more premium. Everything is slightly louder. Everything is slightly sharper. My favorite part of the G502 is the metallic scroll wheel. It's a very solid, nice piece of hardware. On the G402, you can see like it's got a decent scroll wheel. It's the rubber, your usual plastic rubber scroll wheel.
Right.
The G502 one has this nice metallic one that you can click in, and it you can also there's a lock and unlock button, so it can scroll freely, or if you lock it, then it gives the tactile bumps, the tactile ticks when you scroll it. Yeah, I gotta say, G502 is the best mouse I've used so far.
Wow.
I mean, in my
You're in the
life.
position to
In
really
your life.
my life.
compare the two 402 and the 502 since you've tested both. And
That's right. The 402
okay.
is my main workhorse. The 502 was the loaner that I used for a very happy 2 months.
hint,
Yeah.
hint.
It is a $25 in Singapore, at least. It's $25 more than the G402. G402 is a very, very reasonably priced for a gaming mouse, right? Of this caliber, of this quality, it's like $60 for
Agreed. Yeah,
G402.
definitely.
It's
it
undercutting
wireless?
everybody in the market.
Is it wireless? No.
It's not. No. These are pure wired. Oh, that's another thing though. Like Logitech does this shitty rubber cable thing. It's very stiff.
It could have been braided, right? I mean, that's
Yeah. The G502 one is a very nice braided soft cable, and that cable is really, really nice. Yeah.
True.
Does it sit, where does that mouse sit in the range of like costs of mice? I guess like is it in the upper range or
It's actually cheaper than any Razer mouse on the market. Like even your basic Death Adders
Adder.
are
Any
about the
Death
same
Adder,
price as a Logitech 502.
okay?
So
It has weight.
Razer is kind of priced at the high end of the market, and we're not even talking about their Chroma, their newest Chroma line, right? Yeah, they've always been pricing their peripherals pretty highly. So Logitech is trying to cut in on that, I think.
Cool.
So it has weights as well, right, Joel? I mean, you can just configure that too.
That's right. I mean, the mouse itself is not very light, but you can configure. I think there are like 6 removable weights that you can put in and take out.
Oh. It's like,
5 gram.
I never
weights.
get that. Like, I
it's
never
like going to the gym.
The weights thing.
Instead of going to the gym, you just lift your
exactly
mouse.
like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Video
I
games
guess
all-
that's the thing. Like they try to make this as customizable as possible. If that's your thing, well, I
the
never
weight.
bothered with it.
Did you
Yeah.
take out all the weights, or did you just leave them all in?
I took them all out because I found the
Yeah.
the mouse, the vanilla mouse, already to be pretty hefty.
I tend to do that as well. I like mine as light as possible.
I like it
Oh.
heavy. I like it a bit.
I'm with you here, James. I'm the complete opposite. I have to have it as heavy as possible and as big as possible.
But Stevie, that's because you got big hands, mate.
Yeah, that's a problem because I have the G700, and I have a problem with this that when I hold it, my 2 fingers kind of come together like that, and I get kind of cramps in it. So I'm looking now for like a new one now, a bigger one.
So, and you're looking for like a palm grip.
Yeah, much bigger, but
Okay.
I want one that's quite heavy as well because for first-person shooters, I think you need the weight. I think you can hold the shot better when you kind of pan to a target and you get your crosshairs on it. With more weight, it's much easier to keep the gun in the same position.
Definitely.
You're heavyweight
Well,
mouse user as well.
yeah, I am because you naturally get like if you need to do those refined moments, right? Like for me, I don't really lift up my mouse. Some people lift their mouse up a little bit off the mouse pad to get those quick kind of like movements. But actually, for me, it's kind of like I like the heaviness. So it means I can kind of just push it with my thumb and just kind of get really accurate.
Get finer control.
Finer control, accurate movements and stuff. You know.
Well, so far all we've talked about is the 3 mice that we've reviewed so far this year, or in the last few months, not this year. It's, as usual, usual caveats apply. Your mileage may vary depending on your preferred grip and depending on your hand size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely go to a store and try these mice out for yourself and make sure they fit your hand. That's the most important thing, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you go to SimLim, they've got them all out in the open. You can literally go. There's 10 of them in a row. You can go there. You can try them out. I'm sure in the Philippines we have the same thing as well.
So, funnily enough, guys, all the mice that we talked about today are all laser mice. Like, they're all laser sensors. We haven't talked about we haven't reviewed any optical mice.
Correction, sorry, dude. The 402 is optical.
402
Yeah.
is optical.
Yeah, it's optical.
What's the difference? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
have to
I
ask.
was
Yeah,
wondering
it's-
as well. Like laser,
Laser,
That's a
optical.
good question, dude. I can't.
Aren't
I
they all
don't-
the same?
Yeah.
So,
It's like
it's a bit controversial because there's not a lot of scientific backing for this.
Okay.
But people are saying that laser is, it's more responsive and it can reach
Tracks
higher
them better
speeds.
and more surfaces.
On
as well.
shinier
It
surfaces.
can track on any surface. That's the
Yeah.
point, right? That's why people started using laser, is that it can track on even specular surfaces.
Just in higher DPIs.
At higher DPIs, it tends to be unstable. That's the downside. And so with an optical sensor or this is more old tech, right? An older technology a more traditional technology optical sensor doesn't have this problem, but also doesn't reach these high inhuman DPIs,
Yeah.
which you may not need.
yeah.
I mean, that's
probably not.
pro
Yeah.
gamer level. Like,
Right,
I mean, we
right.
don't really, at least for us, I mean, that's not something we
Yeah.
need.
So I mean, I've had feedback that sometimes this is what people are looking for. I mean, this is important to some people, whether it's optical or laser. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the more you know.
Yep.
The more you know. Yeah.
And that's it for episode 2. So tell us if you want another mouse for us to review, or let us know what is your favorite mouse. You can email us via contact@omgeek.net. We're on Twitter @OMGeek, and we're on Facebook, facebook.com/OMGeek. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, and leave us some comments if you agree or disagree or whatever. And of course, check out OMGeek.net for our reviews and the past shows. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
See us.
Bye.
Bye.
And stop.